as hell. Why couldn't y'all just go to the house or some shit? People got kids. And I'm sending this shit to management. Whoever the y'all is, that is nasty as a get the fucking police called on your nasty. Cause y'all just sitting in the stairwell for it. Ain't no sorry, y'all nasty as hell. You might as well come up too.
I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, and I'm probably gonna lose some followers because I know how gay men are when it comes down to their sexual freedoms. But when it comes down to the discourse about cops using the Sniffies app to arrest gay men who are hooking up with other gay men in public spaces, I think we're lacking common sense. If you don't know what Sniffies is, it's pretty much just an updated Grindr. That's all it is. And cops are using this app to bust gay men who are willingly finding hookups that will be done in like public parks, cars, parking lots, garages, etc. And a lot of gay men are saying this is all entrapment because you shouldn't care and you shouldn't be arrested about what you choose to do with another consenting adult, which is true if it's private. But when you involve the public with your sexual kink, then it becomes an issue. I understand everybody has like a different type of situation where they get super aroused, but like I never understood like public, that. I never understood like public roadhead, stuff like that, where you could easily be seen, not just by adults, but by children too. Is the nut really worth it to be put on a registry list for your entire life? Because nowadays when you get put on a registry list, all people hear is you put on a list. They're not going to take time to look and see what you did to be put on that list. A lot of people already equate being on a list with you touching children. And we don't need that narrative anymore in the gay community. It's already bad enough people equate being gay with being a groomer. Let's just use some common sense. If you're setting yourself up to go to a public bathroom, you can either A, be caught by somebody who will report you, or two, you have the chance of running into an undercover cop. If you still take that chance and you get busted, that's on you. You can't be mad at the cop who's arresting you because you chose to do something legal and you got caught doing it. If your sexual urges overtake your ability to think clearly, then you might want to get some help. And it's not even the fact of, I saw somebody say, a child shouldn't be up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when I choose to cruise. What? This day and age, it shouldn't shock you to see a child up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with their parents. It's been times when I would walk the lake at 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning thinking I'm going to be walking the lake by myself, and there's parents out there with their children, they wide awake. This is why I don't get a lot of action, because I'm not adventurous enough. In the back of my mind, there is always a child somewhere. And I don't want them to see me doing anything. I don't want them to be able to point me out and say, I saw him do such and such and so-and-so, or I saw him touch himself. No, you didn't see me do shit. If it's not in a room, count me out.
Cruising is one of those topics within the gay community that everyone knows about, but very few people talk about openly. It carries history, desire, fear, and controversy all at once. And because of that, conversations around it can sometimes get real messy. And while cruising is often associated with gay men, they're not the only ones who do it. People of all genders and orientations have their own versions of seeking quick, discreet encounters, whether it's in public or semi-public spaces. It's a human thing if you ask me. Cruising has been a part of queer history for decades, sometimes celebrated, sometimes stigmatized, and often misunderstood. But like any other cultural practice, it also comes with complexities that are worth talking about honestly. I'm not here to judge or shame. I'm here to explore where cruising came from, why it persists, what it offers, and the realities both positive and challenging that surround it today. This isn't about telling anyone how to live. It's about understanding the context and the truth behind an experience that shaped queer life in ways many people don't even realize. But let's unpack this and talk more about it. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Dante, and I'm back at it again with another video. Now, I'm super excited because, y'all, this is day 1 of Vlogmas. I'm super excited and kind of nervous at the same time because last year, even though everything looked good, it was a damn lot, okay? With recording shit the same day, uploading it, it was just hectic, okay? It was crazy. But I feel like I met a lot of y'all there, so we're gonna do it again. We're gonna run it back. My schedule is clear, so we are crystal clear with everything. It's no excuse as to why I can't post every day. So yes, for the next 25 days until Christmas, well, the next 24 days until Christmas, I'll be posting a video every single day. So let's run these numbers up. I have a lot of great ideas in store for y'all, and we're gonna get into the tea. A lot of conversations will be controversial, but it can't be a Dante video, baby, without us talking about some type of nuance or controversy, I must say. Now, If you are new here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe so you can support. Y'all know I love y'all down. We are on the way to 30,000 subscribers. I want to get there. That's like my goal. I want to get to at least 35K before the year's out. So I feel like we can make that happen. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Now, we're going to talk about cruising today. Now, before we even get deeper into cruising or whatever the case may be, it's a lot of y'all that may not know what the hell cruising is. So I'm going to give you the definition. Cruising refers to seeking out anonymous or casual sexual encounters in public or semi-public spaces. When it comes to cruising, in my personal opinion, just going off of the definition, I'm pretty sure some of us have engaged into this. Y'all, I cannot be the only one who just turned 18 or just freshly, new to the gay scene or whatever the case may be. You get on them apps or whatever trying to hook up because you want to, do something. You want to get into something. But it's either the person that you're trying to link with, they can't host, or it's like you probably got a car, but you can't host because you stay with your mama still. Like, it's crazy. And you don't even have to be young to experience this. It's people that's in their 30s, that's in their uh, late 20s like me that's still staying with somebody, whatever the case may be, and cannot host, child. So it leads a lot of people to cruise. So it can be a situation where you're doing something in your car or you finding a spot for y'all to do it at. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure some of us has been there. So I'm saying that to say that I'm not making this video out of judgment. I just want to have a conversation about it. We're going to talk about the evolution of cruising. And basically, I just kind of want to break down like how things were back in the day versus now. How like back then they didn't have phones, they didn't have apps, so they can link up with these boys, whatever the case may be. Versus now where we have that. And of course, we're going to get into a brief history, heavy on the brief. I'm not going to be here all day with y'all trying to give y'all the whole rundown of cruising within the. I'm not going to do that. But what I will do, I will put links in my description to show you guys the articles that I got this from so y'all can learn more about the history of cruising. And we're going to talk about the controversies behind cruising. And of course, we're going to react to TikToks. I didn't find a lot of TikToks on this topic today because I just didn't, but we will react to at least one, if not one, two. So first of all, let's get into the history of cruising. Cruising has long been woven into the fabric of gay life, evolving from a survival strategy into cultural practice shaped by changing social landscapes and the rise of modern technology. To understand cruising is to understand that ways gay men have searched for connection, intimacy, freedom, and the visibility in a world that has not always offered it willingly. For much of the 20th century, homosexuality was criminalized or socially forbidden across many parts of the world. Within this climate, cruising emerged not merely as a means of seeking sexual encounters, but as one of the few ways gay men could find one another at that time. Parks after dusk, quiet corners of beaches, darkened theaters, public restrooms, and discreet stretches of certain neighborhoods became unofficial meeting points. These spaces operated on an unspoken system of codes, whether it was lingering eye contact, the body language, subtle gestures that communicated desire without saying a word. Though these encounters carried real risk, from arrest to violence, in a world that insisted gay men remain invisible, cruising offered a rare chance to be seen. The 1970s brought a wave of liberation. As queer rights movements gained momentum, gay bars, discos, bathhouses, and community centers flourished. But cruising did not disappear, but it did shift. Men now had more indoor spaces where they could meet openly, or at least more openly than before. Yet public cruising remained vibrant because many men still live closeted lives. When the AIDS crisis emerged in the 1980s, the culture around cruising changed once again. Concepts of safer sex, community care, and the responsibility became central conversations, and some public spaces faced heightened policing. Even so, cruising endured, adapting to new realities while still providing a sense of connection during an isolating era. The biggest shift came with the rise of technology. The emergence of online chat rooms in the late 1990s, followed by apps like Grindr, Scruff, Sniffies, and so on and so forth. It transformed the landscape entirely. Suddenly, the secrecy of cruising were available from just your phone. So basically, y'all, through the history, I just kind of give y'all a rundown of how things were back in the day versus now, and how as time went on, it was places like the bathhouses, it was places like the gay bars, places where gay people could go and meet each other instead of having to go to the woods or go to these weird spots to find somebody to hook up with, right? Now, I kind of want to get into the controversies. There's plenty of controversial conversations surrounding cruising within the gay community, but these are ones that I feel like I want to talk about the most. So the first one I said, the potential of being a registered sex offender. And the reason why I say potential is because it varies in certain areas or certain cities or states. The next one I want to talk about is the impact on public spaces over time. States and cities, how they had to like change the way they operated their public spaces. So maybe they probably had it so like at first you can go out there and enjoy yourself whenever you wanted to at any time of the day. But now it's to the point where they have to like cut down a lot of trees down there to keep from people hiding, or cutting bushes, or installing more lights out there just so like things could be more out in the open. Yeah, I'm gonna actually play one news report from y'all just so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
A disturbing trend at a park in Hillsborough County. Several men accused of exposing themselves and then soliciting sex. Our Clifton French joins us now live from the Sydney-Dover trails near State Road 60. And Cliff, this was happening when anyone, even a child, could just walk up, right?
Yeah, you know, this park doesn't have any buildings. It's 7.5 miles of hiking and horse trails. And in some cases, these men are simply standing in the open, committing sexual acts. It's a serene park, wooded trails, a lake, shaded picnic tables for families. Just yesterday, deputies say 2 men were using this park for sexual gratification on 2 different occasions. I'm working on a story about what's going on at the park in Dover. 35-year-old Boyan Novakovic didn't want to talk about his arrest, but according to HCSO, an undercover deputy spotted him masturbating along the trail just before 11 yesterday morning. He even made contact with the deputy and eventually told him he, quote, wanted to see what it was like. 2 hours later, 61-year-old Randall Jones went a step further, approaching an undercover deputy near this lake, asking for oral sex.
It's a shame that something like that's happened out here.
Ed and his wife Miriam walk the trails and say they hope this arrest keeps folks like that from coming back.
They ought to do random checks of all the parks.
The sheriff's office says that's exactly what they're doing, saying the problem goes further than this park.
Not only these type of places in county parks or city parks, but even like in public restrooms in shopping malls, airports, bus stations.
Tonight, the sheriff's office says you shouldn't be scared, but when enjoying a public place, always be vigilant.
A lot of times they're used for these illegal, deviant sexual activity.
And this kind of behavior isn't new here either. I went back and checked the records. There have been 4 sex incidents at this park documented so far in the past year and a half. I'm reporting live in Dover tonight. Clifton French, ABC Action News.
Yeah, that's just one. It's so many other news reports that I was watching of just men being caught. And it's a lot of stories that's been recent too. Like I think there's something, it was a story about 200 men being caught, being arrested for cruising. So that's crazy. I've also heard a thing about how police officers are actually getting on the app called Sniffies. If y'all don't know what that is, that's kind of like the digital version of cruising. You can honestly plan to cruise around with any gay date and that, it really don't matter. But Sniffies is mainly specifically made for that. So yeah, but police officers, they'll literally like make accounts, act like they about to link up with somebody, and then ended up arresting them. So it's crazy. Y'all gays that use that app, please be careful and safe. Another controversy I want to talk about is the HIV stigma amongst gay men. So the whole concept of cruising, right, is the whole anonymous thing, right? Now, of course, when you are meeting these boys, sometimes you do get a chance to see their face, but at the end of the day, you don't really know these dudes. So when it comes to the HIV stuff, you can easily catch it when you are linking with people that you don't even know their health status. Like you're just doing it for the kink or for like, I don't know, like the fulfillment. And me personally, I don't think it's worth it to like risk your life doing that. It's crazy. And I want to talk about the debate between having responsible sexual behavior versus sexual freedom. So what I mean by that is it's really a debate, y'all, within the gay community where it's some gays that feel as though cruising is not really anything bad. They look at it as sexual freedom, as some gays like me who feel like you just got to be responsible when it comes to who you lay down in the bed with, who you be intimate with, whatever the case may be. What I jotted down from the responsible sexual behavior perspective is sex has consequences, so people should act in ways that minimize harm. So basically what I'm saying, just be cautious of who you sleep with, child. And I said for the sexual freedom perspective, adults should be free to have consensual sex however they choose. So yeah, how do y'all feel about that? Now, I read, as I was doing my research again, I was on Reddit because I love getting on Reddit and just looking at everybody else's perspectives. And somebody made a really very kind of like eye-catchy point. So they said shaming cruising is just repackaged homophobia because homosexual people also have anonymous or public sex, but aren't policed the same way. And I was like, I should put that in my video. So how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like it's homophobic, repackaged homophobia, if you were to, I don't know, shame gay people for cruising? Like, do y'all think that's homophobic? I think when you just solely associate it with just gay men, it can come off as homophobic because, like I keep saying, I can't stress enough, everybody do it. But yeah, but how do y'all feel about that? The question I want to ask y'all: why do some gay men cruise? Now, I came up with two things. I said it could be it's a kink for some. When it comes to like public stuff, one thing that I genuinely don't like. I don't like when I run across people who do corn or whatever, whether it's straight or gay. And y'all are like out in public, like Walmart or like a park or something. Whether you having sex or you gooning, like, bro, it's a time and place for stuff like that. And I feel like y'all going out to places like that to do stuff like that is weird to me. If it's anywhere where kids can be exposed to or go to, it don't even matter. I feel like kids can be in staircases. We're gonna talk about that too. I feel like kids can be because they can be with a parent, they can be with an adult trying to get to either get out of the building or go to the car. Because you know, in some apartment complexes, they have like different levels of like where you can park your car at, whatever the case may be. And sometimes you have to take that staircase. Like maybe you can't take the elevator. So I just feel like stuff like that, it can be very weird. And I look at it as weird. Oh yeah, and I said a lot of these men can't host. Now I was watching a YouTuber. I can't think of his name, but I will put his name on the screen because he did a really good job with his video. But I was going through his comment section and I just kind of want to read what this person said because he literally clocked it. But he said, I'm not endorsing cruising, but the apps are very problematic and wildly inefficient. So many people cannot host other people. Again, so many people cannot host other people, often because high housing costs, especially for young people, means they're living with roommates or family members. Also, having someone over to your place can be unsafe too. There aren't many bathhouses anymore either. He clocked it because I think that's kind of like another reason as to why people do that because either they got a place but they don't want you to come to their place, or they can't host, they ain't got no place for y'all to go. um it's a plethora of reasons. And then he brought up the economy, so like that kind of makes sense as to why people may do it too. But I feel like you can easily get a room, like you can get a room, or I don't know, host, I don't know. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about that comment, because I feel like that kind of like gave me like a different perspective of cruising. Like that's probably why some people do it. They probably don't got no choice but to do that. But again, I feel like once y'all start going into areas where kids can be at, that's when it just starts to become weird to me. I don't know. Now I want to watch this. I want to react to this video with y'all. But basically, like they're talking about cruising, of course. But there's one gay guy that's kind of like not taking up for cruising, but just looking at it as homophobia, being that the police people are going on sniff feeds and creating these fake accounts to arrest these gay men. There's another gay boy that's reacting to it, giving his take. So we're gonna react to it together, and I'm gonna give my perspective, of course. So let's get into it.
Apparently, it's homophobic now to arrest gay men for breaking the law.
Gays getting arrested for cruising on sniffies is the last thing I saw on my bucket list, bitch. It really was. No, because, girl, tell me why now I'm just finding out that cops are literally using sniffies as a way to charge gay men and, like, arrest them and shit like that.
It's important to keep in mind that Sniffies is a gay hookup app because the community needs more of that. Not only is it a gay hookup app, it is a gay cruising hookup app. And for those of you that have class and don't know what cruising is, it is basically hooking up with strangers in public spaces. Great, so now you're going to understand how truly ridiculous the rest of this video is.
Girl, what? Going that far just to catch a man getting some hole and pole is just ridiculous. There's no fucking reason for that.
Well, the reason for that is because it's illegal, okay? Because, giving your body to anybody and everybody is not low enough for you guys. You have to make sure now you're doing it in public spaces.
And the funniest thing is that a lot of those officers that are be using the sniffies to arrest other gay men also probably use sniffies already. Like, bitch. Like, okay, baby, not the parole hole. And it sucks because sniffies is such a core part of the gay community. Like, it's supposed to be a safe haven. It really is. Like, baby, them officers are gonna be leaning a lot more than just the donut holes that they get at their fucking station. Like, mama. Especially since a lot of those officers are probably DL too. Like, I just think that it's just too much. It's insane. And I hate it. Very much homophobic. Very much homophobia to, like, the highest extent. Say what you want about cruising, but cruising has always been such a core part of the gay community and has always been a way for us to safely, quote unquote, experience being gay or like have her experience it. And I just think it's ridiculous. Like, getting arrested just for like getting whole, like that's just ridiculous. That's crazy.
Once again, just doing and demanding the most while simultaneously having the least amount of self-respect and situational awareness. Since when has cruising or sniffies been a core part of the gay community? And then these will be the same ones in the community talking about we don't claim AJ because of his values or his beliefs. Bitch, first of all, this is not lost and found. I don't need to be claimed. But is this the part where I'm supposed to care? Because apparently the community's core values have evolved to getting cracked like a glow stick by a stranger in a public park on your lunch break. Believe me, I'll be just fine. Don't worry about claiming me. Worry about reclaiming that dignity. Next, you claim that sniffies is your safe space? Since when has promiscuous hookups become a safe space? And if that's the case, do it in the safety and security of your home. Oh, you'll let him into you, but you draw the line at letting him into your home? Okay, well then go to a hotel. You don't want to pay for a hotel, or you can't pay for a hotel. Okay, well in that case, go to work. Okay, pick up a hobby. Matter of fact, pick up a Bible. I fear that there's an epidemic of underdeveloped frontal lobes and Peter Pan syndrome just running rampant. And then he had the nerve to say it's homophobia to the highest degree. This is why I say the plot has been lost, okay? Your strive for equality has now become a strive for special privileges. You know it's against the law if you get caught doing that in public, right? I mean, unless the cop is cool and lets you go. Don't receive a get out of jail free card simply because you're gay. I mean, I understand, unfortunately, this type of degeneracy has become the standard at a lot of pride parades and from a lot of the representation within the community, but let's work on not normalizing this. Wow. Well, can't say I'm surprised, but anyways, I love you guys and I will see you in the next one.
He make a great point. I ain't really got nothing to say. I feel like he clocked it, but it just may come off as judgmental to some people because of the way he's like addressing the situation. I guess his tone, but I can honestly see why some people may cruise, but I feel like the only thing I just have an issue with is just y'all going to areas where you know kids can be at. Like that's my only issue. But I look at stuff from two perspectives, so that's just me. Y'all know how I am. Like I try not to be solely onto like how I feel about stuff. Instead, I try to look at it from everybody else's perspective. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about cruising. Do you feel like I covered everything? If I didn't cover what you wanted me to cover, please feel free to include it. I'm really look forward to Vlogmas this year. Give me ideas if y'all want to, even though I already have everything down. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.